Merry Christmas and welcome to the Shadow Critic's Christmas special episode. Yes, the great holiday has finally arrived and we are going to celebrate it by reviewing a Christmas movie on this channel. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, Shadow Critic. Who are you? It's me, Santa Claus. I've come to help you with the Christmas review. Do you mean to say you're the real Santa Claus? Yes, that's right, I'm the real Santa. And I'm here to help you with the Christmas review. I'm honoured that you would join me this Christmas, Santa Claus. So let's do this thing, let's record the Christmas review. But why do you look so sad? I thought you were supposed to be jolly. Oh, Shadow Critic, there's so much evil in the world. This is supposed to be the celebration of the birth of Jesus. But the world is engulfed by injustice. Everyone is consumed by darkness and enslaved to sin. It's hard to get in the Christmas spirit. I see, yes, indeed, the modern world is tiresome. It's unfortunate that you're not feeling the Christmas spirit, but perhaps there's something I could do to help you. Like what? Perhaps if we watch a wholesome movie from the past, it will remind you of what Christmas is all about. That's not a bad idea. Movies from the past often have virtuous messages and good morals. Let's watch the Flintstones Christmas special. That's bound to be wholesome and full of good messages and Christmas cheer. That sounds great. I'm sure a traditional animation like the Flintstones will have an extremely moral and virtuous Christmas message. Let's watch it. So here we go. Let's review the Flintstones Christmas. Now I have to say, just starting off, I'm not really sure how the Flintstones can even have Christmas, seeing as they live in the Stone Age and Jesus lived in the Roman Empire. So Jesus' birth didn't happen until after the time of Julius Caesar, and yet these Stone Age people are somehow celebrating Christmas. I don't really understand how that's possible. So as if the very premise of having Christmas in the Stone Age already didn't make zero sense, the movie starts off with Fred setting up Christmas lights. So let me get this straight. In addition to Christmas being in the Stone Age, they also had electricity? Is that what we're supposed to be learning here? So yeah, according to Flintstones, both electricity and Christmas existed in the Stone Age. And I just have to say that... Did you see that? It was probably nothing. So Fred is setting up all of his Christmas decorations, and he seems to be having a very good time about it. I have to say, it's kind of out of character to see Fred this happy.
It's Christmas! Try and show a little excitement. Merry Christmas!
I'll grant that I'm not exactly a Flintstones expert. It's not really my area of expertise. But I don't really recall Fred being a particularly happy character. Most of the time he seems quite grumpy. I would have thought this would be a classic episode in which Fred was really grumpy and Velma was really positive and she has to talk him into liking Christmas. But I actually found Fred having a more festive side to be quite enjoyable. I thought it was a nice change. It's nice that even Fred is getting into the Christmas mood and feeling the spirit of goodwill towards all men. Anyway, Fred is very excited for the Christmas season and his boss, Mr. Slate, has hired him to play Santa Claus in the Christmas parade. Now I don't really see how the Flintstones can know about Santa, seeing as Santa was a Christian saint called Saint Nicholas. Santa, how did they know who you are? I have no idea how they know who I am. Did you travel back in time or something? No, of course not. I fly a magical reindeer-powered sleigh, not a DeLorean. So I'm not really sure how they know about him, but then again, the Flintstones have a TV in their house, so I'm starting to think this show isn't 100% historically accurate. Okay, seriously, what is that? We need to work out what that is. Something weird is going on here. Anyway, Fred is excited because Pebbles and Bam Bam are going to fly back for the holidays, and they're fully grown up in this episode. It's quite surprising, because I'm used to seeing them as children, so to see them as grown up is pretty surprising. Fred and Barney go to the shop to buy the Stone Age equivalent of a turkey, but unfortunately as they're leaving they get mugged by a kid. Later on they go to help the police identify the suspect. It turns out the kid is actually a pretty notorious criminal. It turns out that the kid has been a criminal for most of his life. Now Velma feels sorry for him because he's had a hard life, and she wants to take him home for Christmas. However, Fred objects. Fred says that he's dangerous because the kid threatened him with what he thought was a gun, but was actually just a twig.
He stuck us up with a gun!
It was just a twig. See? It doesn't even have a twigger.
Honestly, I'm just impressed that Fred even knows what a gun is, given that gunpowder wasn't invented until the 9th century AD in China. A woman who works for social services centres and tells him that this kid has been a criminal for his entire life. She says that many different people tried to get him to repent, but no one could get through to him. They show that various people have spoken to him to try and get him to repent, including what appears to be a reverend, a Jewish rabbi, a Hindu, and even a Catholic pope. This pope even has a giant Christian cross on his hat. Okay, I hate to keep asking the same question over and over again, but how is it possible that all of these religions could exist in the Stone Age? Okay, seriously, what the hell is that? Santa, do you know what this is? Well, it's possible the Flintstones is so full of historical inaccuracies that it's destroying the space-time continuum. What are you talking about? You know, historical inaccuracies. Anachronistic errors. What's an anachronistic error? An anachronistic error is when an event or element is depicted as being in a time period in which it does not belong. If you had a movie about the ancient Greeks using guns, this would be an anachronistic error, otherwise known as a historical inaccuracy. So wait a minute, you're saying that the Flintstones are so full of anachronistic errors that it's actually damaging our timeline? Yes. You're telling me if we keep reviewing this movie, and if it keeps having anachronistic details in it, the entire universe could be destroyed? Possibly, yes. So every time the Flintstones shows something historically inaccurate, it damages the timeline further? Normally these kinds of historical inaccuracies are harmless, but the Flintstones are so full of them they could start to build up to a dangerous level, and harm the flow of time. So if the Flintstones keeps getting stuff wrong about history, time and space could literally tear apart? Possibly, yes. Oh man, we're gonna have to keep reviewing this movie to get Santa his Christmas spirit back. But if this movie keeps having anachronistic errors in it, who knows what could happen. Anyway, the Flintstones take the kid home to spend Christmas with them, and the kid's name is Stony, by the way. Stony hacks the TV so it will get free cable, and then this scene happens.
Well, Mr. Flintstone, nice TV. I can get you free cable.
Alone tonight, caveman? Turn us on. We're the All Cave Girl Network.
Wow, I never thought I would see a porno on an official Flintstones episode, let alone on the Christmas special. I guess nothing says Christmas like watching stolen porn. Well, that's how I plan to get into the Christmas spirit anyway. Santa doesn't remember Christmas having such a strong focus on porn. Was this always part of the holiday celebration? Okay, I wasn't going to harp on about it, but the Flintstones have incorporated the TV into the episode, so now I have to talk about it. How is it possible the Flintstones can have a TV? How would that even work in the Stone Age? The Flintstones and Stony watch a parody of the movie It's a Wonderful Life. This parody movie is called It's a Wonderful Stone Age Life. Seriously, how lazy were the scriptwriters on this special? They couldn't have spent 5 more minutes coming up with a better parody title? That was the best they could do? Just putting the word Stone Age in the title of a well-known movie doesn't make it a good Flintstones joke. This joke, if you can even call it that, is as lazy as it can get. I mean, this was seriously the best they could come up with. Fred enjoys the movie because of its Christmas message. However, when Stony watches it, he's reminded of how unfair his life was, and we get a flashback from his terrible past.
It's probably another orphan boy all alone on Christmas. Get out of here! We don't want to think about people like you at a nice time like Christmas!
Finally, someone with some common sense. In the meantime, Pebbles gives Velma a call and tells her that her plane hasn't arrived yet due to a blizzard. Fred still doesn't like the kid, but the others try to convince Fred that Stony is actually good.
Yeah, the kid's not so bad, Fred. He just got me the All Cave Girl Network.
Well, there you have it. Barney Rubble watches stolen porn. Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas.
You know what? The Flintstones movie has actually changed my mind. If only more Christmas movies were about stealing free porn. Hey, Tiny Tim, guess what? We just hacked our TV so we can get free porn.
God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Maybe he doesn't understand what Christmas is all about because he's never had a real one before.
Well, Velma, why don't you just tell us what the meaning of Christmas is? Because as far as I can see, Jesus hasn't been born yet. And if we're going by the logic of this movie, then the only purpose to Christmas is to figure out a way to steal free porn. Hey, it's me, the Shadow Critic. I have some bad news. Santa's sled is out of Christmas magic, which means the reindeer can't fly. The only way we can get the Christmas magic back to the sled is by subscribing to my channel. Hit the subscribe button, it's completely free and it will help me produce higher quality content for you. Santa can't fly without that magic. You wouldn't want to take Christmas away from all of the children around the world, would you? You wouldn't do that, would you? So subscribe to my channel and help Santa deliver the presents to the children around the world and save Christmas. Anyway, the family decide they're going to tour around Bedrock and see all of the Christmas entertainment. In the meanwhile, Stony continues to steal from people and commit various crimes. The jokes in this movie are so lazy. I'm surprised the animators resisted the urge to rename the Christmas holiday to Stonemas. Also, I have to ask, are the cavemen in this movie just immune to the cold? I mean, look, they're standing barefoot on ice and snow. Apparently the people of Bedrock haven't invented even the most basic kind of shoe. So wait a minute, let me get this straight. They've discovered electricity, but they haven't been able to work out that wrapping leather around your feet during wintertime helps keep them warm.
Unfortunately, I can't print my own money.
So I guess the printing press and the concept of money also existed in the Stone Age. I was pretty sure that the first coins came from ancient Greece, but apparently not. Ah, crap. The family go out to buy a Christmas tree. Unfortunately, they can't afford a good one, so Stony decides to start gambling with people to try and raise some money. Shadow Critic, this film has a lot of crime, such as mugging, stealing, and now gambling. Were these things always a part of Christmas? Well, it's been a while since I read the Bible, but I'm pretty sure that in the Nativity, the Virgin Mary mugged the Magi for all of their gold, myrrh, and frankincense, and the shepherds that visited Jesus were gambling with the angel. Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm like 90% sure that's how it happened. However, one of Stony's customers accuses him of cheating and starts to chase him. The man tells Fred that Stony is a cheat, but Fred defends him. Fred gets into a street fight with the man, and he gets injured. Because Fred is injured, Mr. Slate says that he can no longer play Santa Claus, and Fred is devastated by this because he was really looking forward to it. Stony feels guilty that Fred can no longer play Santa Claus, so he steals the suit and kidnaps Mr. Slate. When Fred frees Mr. Slate, the police show up, and both Fred and Stony are sent to jail. By the way, I have to point out the people of Bedrock are pure evil. What kind of monsters put a full-grown man in the same cell as a small child? Apparently in Bedrock they've invented electricity, but they haven't discovered even the most basic human rights. The two get to talking, and Fred tells Stony that he protected him from the man earlier because he believed he was innocent, and Stony tells Fred that he wants to be good, but he doesn't know how. Then Mr. Slate walks in and tells Fred that he cleared his name and he wants him to be Santa again, which makes everything that just happened seem kind of pointless. I mean, everything that just happened was literally just reversed because the plot needed to move on. The woman from social services turns up to take Stony away to imprison him.
The antisocial worker Stella Stalactite took Stony away. You know, he wasn't such a bad kid when you got to know him.
What do you mean he wasn't a bad kid? All we've seen him do throughout this Christmas special is commit crime.
I even think he was starting to figure out Christmas.
So did he figure out the meaning of Christmas before or after the kidnapping? Fred sees Stony being taken away, so he chases after him on a flying sleigh powered by pterodactyls, and he takes the boy back. Isn't it illegal to just fly down and take children? And didn't Stony have some jail time he needed to serve? But the social worker seems okay with the kidnapping, so I guess it's just fine. Pebbles finally arrives and the family all enjoy Christmas.
There's one Flintstone tradition we haven't done yet. Newest member of the family gets to hang the star.
Me?
Welcome to the Flintstone family, Stony.
So if Stony is the newest member of the family, does that mean that he's going to be in all subsequent Flintstones episodes and movies? Or are they just going to forget about him and treat him like he never existed the moment this movie is over? I think you can guess which one happened. Since Stony is apparently now a member of their family, but he isn't in any future Flintstones projects, I can only assume that he died shortly after the events of this movie. And that's pretty awful, but that's really the only conclusion I can draw from all this. So yeah, it seems like the kid died after this movie. Merry goddamn Christmas! Okay, so that was the Flintstones Christmas episode. What did I think of it? I did not like it. I think the biggest flaw of this movie is that they just introduced a completely new character and tried to build the entire movie around him, when this is a Christmas special, so it should really be done with the existing characters. When I heard of the Flintstones Christmas special, I thought, oh, it will be a Flintstones movie with a Christmas theme. But no, the Flintstones are hardly in it at all. The entire movie is just about the Stony kid. I don't know who Stony is, I don't care about this character, I don't like him, and yet the entire movie is based around him. The only Flintstone that's really in this movie is Fred. None of the other Flintstones are really in this movie at all. Velma gets a few lines, but they're mostly unimportant, and even she only gets a few lines. I was really looking forward to seeing grown-up Pebbles and Bam Bam, but they're hardly in the movie at all. They get only a few lines about their travel arrangements to their family's house. If you took them out of the movie, it wouldn't make a single difference. It would still be the exact same movie. That's how little they impact the story. The Rubbles also get underutilized in this movie. We hardly see them at all. The only thing the Rubbles really contribute to this movie is the fact that Barney apparently steals porn. The main focus of this movie is really the Stony kid, but honestly, he's not a great character, and he's not very interesting, and he's not one of the original members of the cast, so I just don't really care about him. Now, I see what the movie was trying to do. It was trying to have one of those moments where it's like, look how good you have things, look how bad other people have things. And they were trying to do a sort of understanding thing where you learn to look at things from other people's perspectives and learn to sympathize with them. And you know, there's a place for that, and that is a Christmas theme, I guess. But it just doesn't really work as a Christmas special. The Christmas special should have been with established characters that we already know. You can still keep the same morals, but have it about the established characters. At the moment, it doesn't even feel like a Flintstones special. It just feels like an episode of some other show that randomly has Fred Flintstone in it for some reason. For me, at least, the best part of this episode was the very beginning before Stony arrived, when they were setting up the Christmas decorations. I enjoyed that, and afterwards when Stony came into the episode, I stopped enjoying it. And I think that's a real issue if that's how other people feel, because that basically means people didn't enjoy any of the actual plot of the episode, and they only liked the starting point. And the only reason I liked the starting point is that was the only point in the episode where the Flintstones were sort of celebrating Christmas and sort of engaging in the holiday. After that, it just became about Stony and his criminal deeds and sort of his redemption. And I personally just didn't enjoy it as a Christmas special. I think that guy from the Wonderful Life episode actually had the right idea. It's Christmas, Stony. No one wants to think about your depressing life. So get back outside in the snow and go to holly jolly hell. Well, Santa, did you regain your Christmas spirit? Did this movie make you remember the true meaning of Christmas? Yes, I did. The true meaning of Christmas is to gamble, get into street fights, and steal free porn. Oh, you're damn right, Santa. Well, this movie may have stunk like a pile of magical flying reindeer diarrhea, or pterodactyl diarrhea, but at least the universe wasn't destroyed. And it's a good thing that this movie finished when it did, because my calculations show that just a few more historical inaccuracies in that movie, and our entire timeline could have been erased. Actually, I think your count was off. You never officially counted the television, and you missed a few things, like the helicopter and the newspaper. But that means we're over 10 historical inaccuracies in this one movie alone. That's too many for one movie. Oh no, no, no! Oh shit!